Hi everyone, today we'll be going to study constructors. So along with the definition and all, we'll also see the practical implementation, right? Along with the exercise that will be given to you. So it's highly recommended that you complete the exercise. But first, what are constructors? So in OOPS, constructors are a function which are automatically called whenever an object is created, right? So these functions don't have any return type. Therefore, they don't return anything, right? And we don't even have to declare them as void. We don't have any return type, even as a void or int, whatever, right? So like this is an example of a constructor, like the class is car. So this is a constructor. The car is a function. The name of means the name of the constructor should be same of that of the class, right? And there is no return type. It's not returning anything, so we have not even put void here. And there are three types of constructors. The first one is default in C++, right? In the first one, there are three types of constructors in C++. The first one is default, second is parameterized, and the third one is copy constructors. So let's see the first one, default constructors. This example that you saw, right? This is the example of a default constructor, because the name default is given because if you don't even declare, right? Let's leave the content inside this function or this constructor. This type of constructor it's created even when you don't declare it. Even if you don't define it, whenever an object is created, automatically the compiler creates an empty constructor if the default constructor of this type is not defined, right? The empty default constructor, the compiler creates it and pass it on to the runtime, right? So in default constructor you can see no parameters is passed. And the thing is, the interesting thing is, as I have told you, that if it's not created, compiler will create it empty default constructor and will pass it on to the runtime, right? So what is the use of default constructor? So basically, in your means if you are going towards DS algo side, if you are going towards development side, in your as a student, you may not encounter the use of constructors, but in IT industry, you will have to use constructors very often, right? So it's basically a myth that constructors are not useful or not that useful. They are not extensively used. They are used, right? So, but along with default constructor, the parameterized constructor is very highly used, extensively used, I will say. The parameterized constructor. In the parameterized constructor, there is no difference. Basically, we just pass the argument. Again, we don't have a return type. We don't return anything, right? And one of the use of parameterized constructor is to initialize the variable with the arguments, right? So we will see in the example, right? If you don't able to understand the things, uh, let's see the example, right? So let's do this practically. Let's see the parameterized constructor. Let's see the parameterized constructor. Right, so this is your main class, but before that, let's create a class name as car, right? So we have to declare the constructor as public, right? And This is the example of the default constructor. And this is the example of this is the example of parameterized constructor. So for example, for the sake of simplicity, I will create the access modifier as private, otherwise there is no need, right? And the name of the car, right? So we will initialize it. This name is the name that we have passed in as an argument, and this name is basically this is the data member, right? And let's create a function display. Since it's not a constructor, we have to give it a return type, right? If we are not returning, obviously we'll give as void. So the name of the car is, what is the name of the car? This end line, and that's it. And let's take any car, you can take Audi or whatever, any car, right? So see, if I'm doing anything, right, for example, I don't do anything, I just create this. So if I do this, this will be called. So for example, there is a car 1, right? So this constructor will be called here, and here, right? For example, the name of the car should be anything. I can give like this, right? So here, if I declare the object using a parameter, then parameterized constructor will be called, right? Then car1.display, and it's car2.display. Let's see the difference, right? This is the parameterized constructor. You can see that parameterized constructor is used to initialize the data members, right? So that's what that was written in the slide, right? And let's try to run it. If there is any error, we'll see to it. String, okay, yeah, it's not Java, right? It's not Java, I just forgot. Let's see. Before name, okay, this is again my bad. And see, the default constructor is called. The name of the car is, it will not be able to enter because the car1.display, this dot name, we have not given anything in for this car1, and for this car2, the name of the car is Audi, right? So that's how the parameterized and the default constructors work, right? So that is a simple demonstration. Let's explain it again. I am explaining it again. So we created two objects of the class car1 and car2, car1 with no arguments and car2 with the argument as string name Audi, right? So when I call the class car1, this default constructor is called, and it's printing some line like it's a default constructor, right? And when the object car2 is created with the name as odd, then this constructor is called. When I encounter so when I invoke this function this car1.display, it will print the line the name of the car is, but then this dot name we have not given in the case of car1, right? So in case of car1 this dot name is not present, right? In case of car2.display, this dot, so this data member name is given as odd, right? So yeah, it is just initializing data member name, right? So that's the thing, and I hope you understand it. Let's move forward. Let's see copy constructor. Copy constructor is again a member function which is created using the object of other class. So when we create the new object, we have to pass the other object, right? So it's basically the copy constructor. It's like the new object will be kind of a copy of the previous object, right? So if we want to create an object which is the replica of the previous object or contains the exact member function along with the initialization of member functions as of the previous object, then we have to use the copy constructor, right? So there are other ways to do that also, to initialize the member function as same as the object, the previous object, but a copy constructor is kind of a shortcut, or you can say another way to do that, right? So let's see the name of the class. Let's not create another class, just do it here only. It is default, it's parameterized, and let's create a copy constructor, right? And let's say C, right? And this dot name is equal to C dot name, right? So here we are just initializing the data member name of this class with the previous class data member name, right? So it's just kind of copy. We can even control what we want to do and how we want to copy the things, right? So if there are two names, we can also create some balance. So that's how the C++ is giving us the functionality. No doubt there are other ways to do that, but this is I personally I haven't used these copy constructors often, but yeah, they are sometimes used. So let's create a new object car3, right? Car3 will be, sorry, here the object car2 should be given, right? And let's see car3.display, let's see, right? And here, oh, let's close it first and let's run it and let's see. What happened? Yeah, so in the first case it encountered a default constructor, right? And when we invoke the display function of the first of carbon, it is unable to display, the name, because we haven't given any initialization to the data member of car1. In case it's car2, and for car2 it's odd, and for car3 even it's odd, because this is the example of copy constructor. So let's make it more simple, right? And car1 car2, and this is car3. Let's see. Yeah, for car1 the name of it's unable to print the name of the car. For car2 it's odd, and car3 is odd, and in car3 it's basically using the copy constructor, right? We are passing the object car2, so that's why, since for car2 the name of the data member name is odd, and that's why it's passing that name to the new to the object, to the data member of the object of the new to the data member of the new object that we have created, right? So this is the thing, and it's pretty much simple, right? If you initially you may find it a little bit overwhelming or difficult to understand, just keep it in mind, practice makes a man perfect, right? So this is the, I will just default constructor, this is the parameterized constructor, and this is the copy constructor, right? So this is the basic implementation. So if you have any doubts, just ask in the comments. Actually, I'm expecting you to ask some doubts, and we'll make a separate video on that, right? So you may find there some, if you're curious about learning, right, then you can ask some things like, what if we declare constructors in private access modifier, not in public, what will happen? So for that we will make a separate video. For that we will explain everything, but I guess programming is all about practice, right? You should even try. I will not do that in this video, maybe in the next video, or maybe in some other video, but you should try it, and you should try it on your own. It's your practice, right? It will build your practice to experiment the things. Obviously nothing will going to happen if you delete it. Nothing will going to happen, right? So don't be afraid of this. It's your playground, right? Just the mindset should be to play with this. It's just like playing an instrument or playing any game, any damn game. You should just try to play with it. See it as a game. There are some rules, right? We have to follow it, and let's see, right? If any of the rule is broken, the error messages will be given. Nobody is going to put you in jail, right? So that's the thing, and this is all about the constructors in C++, and in the next video we are going to discuss destructors. So destructors will be a lot more short topic, because there is only one type of destructors there in C++. And if you have any doubt, just comment and ask us. Till then, see ya.